Alright, party people. Oh, we have ourselves an absolute banger of a set, series, or even possibly just game coming up here. Anderson versus Gabagoon. Near the top of the ladder, Gabagoon challenging the big dog. And oh, hold up, we got something special. Anderson, usually the pro-toss Swiss cheese aficionado, busting out the Zerg this time. He's had enough of it. He had the taste of playing Zerg against IJ, and now he wants more. Was definitely an unconventional bit of Zerg play, but maybe he's found a new love for ZVT. I think anyone who enjoys ZVT is probably a psychopath. And speaking of psychopathy, we've got a little bit right here. We've got 5 drones on the board. And with those 5 drones, we're going to be making a pull. We got a 5 pull coming up here for Anderson against Gabagoon. Gonna have to see if this man chooses to wall or chooses to build up inside of his own base. Looks like Gabagoon's going to start the supply depot at the choke. We've got ourselves a wall. We might have ourselves a tragedy. This 5 pull coming up right now. Should be up to 6 drones, and then the lings start, and then we've got an overlord, so 6 lings, and it's going to be a while before reinforcements start. But the economy is there. This is a macro build if you listen to Hexy. Now, if Gabagoon's too ambitious here or too greedy, this could actually really turn around and bite him. But immediately getting the barracks up, using the same SCV here. Tight build so far. The spawning pool's almost done. Got a close scout as well. Anderson sending out the drone to the top. Gaba has no idea that this is coming. 6 lings in production. No more, though. Like we said, this is the supply limit for Anderson. He's going to need to make an overlord next. Gaba scouting the wrong direction here. The lings are coming. He's not going to know which way to go, though. Hasn't found anything yet. Are they going to be going across map? It's looking rather likely. So this is really unfortunate for Anderson because the wall's going to be able to finish. And those lings are going to run into this SCV more than likely. So Gabagoon is very likely going to be aware of this. And yes, here we go. 6 lings running into the SCV. Gaba knows. He was paying any attention at all. He should be ready to plug up the wall against the lings, but the lings not finding anything. Gonna get pulled down because Anderson seeing this base now. This is a rough spot, and yeah, we've already got SCVs plugging up the gaps here. 3 Marines ready to come out by the time the lings get here.
Now, hold on. Did he purposely do this, that the bottom left and bottom right were blocked so the Marines spawned in the top right, do you think?
No, the Marine spawned in the bottom left still. It's just a matter of,
the one before.
They had pulled around. He had pulled 2 of them back to the right. The most recent one spawned up front. Canceling the, CC, or canceling, that was a barracks, not a CC. Maybe? I'm not actually sure. It might have been a CC, then canceling it for a second barracks. Gaba sees what's going on now. Anderson is trying to transition this up at 10 drones, but extremely far behind our Terran player. This push might just be able to end it right here. 2 SCVs, 4 Marines. It's always a tragedy when you throw away all of your lings at the start. You have a 5 pull going into a wall like that, you kind of need to just put a little bit of damage onto the SCVs. If you can't break it, then you need to save all the lings you can, because otherwise this happens. Should be a bunker coming up here, forcing a cancel. Not even going to the bunker. Couple of lings out. bunker going up on the top side here. Going to be very, very difficult for these Lings to get in and get damage. 5 Marines and more funneling across the map. Bunker's almost done. Ling's getting a couple of Marines here. Only 2 get into the bunker. Nice control here from Anderson so far. But now a 3rd into the bunker. The hatch is going to go down. Well, not in the bunker just yet. Anderson's going lair, trying to tech up. But Gaba's already got his gas going. He's in a very, very, very commanding position. Starting his natural just now. Gonna have a 2 base Terran to a 1 hatchery Zerg. I know that we saw Anderson pull some games out of a hat that he really shouldn't have against IJ. But in this case, I think he needs to have more than a rabbit in his hat to come out of this game victorious. In-base hatchery for Anderson, spotted by Gabagoon. Gabon has no idea that the lair's coming up, but knows just how far ahead he is. Academy, eBay is coming. So yeah, Gaba's in a very okay spot. He's not worried about mutas at all. He's going to have the hatchery down long before we can get a spire completed. Or the eBay down, I'm sorry. Be able to get turrets as much as he wants to. I think he's going to be going out to check for additional bases. I'm not sure if there's anything left in the bunker here or not. Scan the main, probably? Pretty big run by. Full control group of Lings. But they're never going to make it inside of this wall. Find a couple of Marines to kill. I've seen this movie before. Rally point set to the inside, but they can't go. Nice stim up here. Actually getting some damage from Anderson, but not nearly enough. Just 1, maybe 2 Marines killed out of the entire control group of Zerglings. Scan just came down here on the spire, spotting it. Gabagoon should be throwing down some turrets in just a moment. Seeing that spire almost completed. More Lings. Again, I think very, very, very hard pressed to find any damage with these, though. Anderson's not going for mutas, just making Lings. He has a gas bank that he could be making mutas with. Instead, gonna try and break this bunker. A pop out to stim for the increased damage. It's only 1 Marine, but Gaba's still doing it. I think we might have lost 1 Zergling the entire way there. Anderson trying to get his natural again. Very, very, very low on drones. Very low on supply at all. I mean, there is no universe in which Gabagoon should lose this game. Getting his turrets. Has a pretty decent gas bank so far. Scouting for additional bases. Very nice SCV count. But at the same time, it is possible. Just, I think a player of Gabagoon's caliber is not going to give up an advantage that is this severe. These might be a couple of mutas here, but I don't expect it, actually. It takes so many mutas to get an advantage. Yeah, Anderson just has a ton of gas right now. Having just 1 or 2 Mutalisks doesn't do anything. You need at least 5 to be able to deal with a single Marine in 1 volley. And then, I think it's 8 to, no, 7 to kill an SCV. I can never do math. For some reason, my brain always says that, Mutalisks deal 8 damage instead of 9. stimming up, crossing the map, finding the scouting Zergling, and this push should end the game here. There's no way that Anderson can hold anything out of this. Just getting some high ground vision with the singular stimmed Marine running through. The hatch is down. Pretty big surface area that Anderson actually has with his Lings here. Need to get that fire bat forward. Yeah, GG is called. Well played to Gaba. Not sure if they're doing a best of 3 or if it's only the one game. If it's only the one game, I could see the 5 pool being a lot more vicious. But the unfortunateness of the scout there took away a lot of the value. Yeah, we are going to 3. All right. So the cheese attempt from Anderson. Failing hard. But again, this is a very unconventional Zerg player. Had some really creative builds against IJ. I'm looking forward to seeing what else is in that man's bag of tricks. Likewise, though, Gabagoon, really strong player. I always think of him for his TVP personally, because I always compare his Vulture control to Sharp, which in my book is very high praise. At least for, you know, the, was it C, B rated player that he is? I think that Gabagoon's B. So like the B rated version of Sharp. You know, it's like we have Sharp at home. But at the same time, his bio is definitely no slouch. Good timings, good defense. Are we going to be walling in here at the main? Maybe going for a little bit of a tech play, 1 base, 1-1-1, 2 port wraith, something like that. Said we got to give Anderson a chance. He's got so much practice against this from playing against IJ that give him a build he's more familiar with. Have to keep an eye here on the gas timings. Gonna pop out for just a quick second, and I just wanted to see what the chat's saying. Sorry about cutting off the feed for a brief moment. Alright. So Anderson, looks like we're going for 12 hatch here. Drone pretty much on time. Tiny bit early, but not a big deal. Curious if it's going to be 2 hatch Muta, if we're going 2.5 hatch, 3 hatch. A lot of different variations, but we already have the extra drone here, so this is not going to be 2 hatch Muta. At least not in the conventional sense. We're not going to be looking for that, like, 255 layer. Pool? Alright, so this looks like, if I had to put money on it, 2.5 hatch. This should be a gas right now. Yup, exactly. And the full wall is here for Gaba. Anderson, being stupid and lucky, is going to get first scout, going the wrong direction with his Overlord. Not necessarily being stupid and lucky, though. This might be easy pickings for a Marine. Gaba gets in, sees the gas, and sees it's not mining. Ooh, this is actually going to delay the mutas pretty heavily. Gaba is going for factory, not pulling off, so I think this is likely to be 2 port wraith. I don't know if Anderson knows how to scout that based on the gas here. Anderson going for 3rd base as well. It's before the lair. Also going for heavy lings here. This is delaying his lair timing. but Gaba can't get in to scout this anymore, so if a lair's not made in a base and no one's around to see it, is the lair really not made? Lair coming up now. 40 seconds later than you'd want it to be if you were going to hatch Muta. And the fact that we're not going to have any anti-air for a while here for Anderson is actually a gigantic tragedy. So the Lings can't get in, and unless Anderson knew to scout for the gas, he has no idea that there's going to be Wraiths coming out and ready to work him for a little while in not too much longer. Vulture's already in. There's a Hydra Den coming. We have to pull the drones, though. No kills yet on the Vulture. Finally getting the first one. Sunken coming out to the natural, but that's very late. 2 kills already, 3 kills. The Lings are finally back. Gaba should have no trouble microing against these, though, if he wants to. Not even going to deal with them, instead just going straight after drones. Target firing these, unfortunately getting surrounded. He's going to lose the Vulture, but got an extra kill before it happened. And now, here come the Wraiths. Anderson about to face a supply block, about to face some serious pressure. He does have the Hydra Den, though. He does have the Hydras. But who knows when he's going to get the chance to produce anything else, because these Overlords are going to take some serious punishment. Nice micro here from Gabagoon as well. Wow. Alright, Evo Chamber coming down. I'm betting that Anderson doesn't have Burrow either. Putting a lot of money into defenses and defensive buildings. Losing even more, another drone. More Wraiths coming in. There's no creep colony coming down here at the natural yet to try and continue defending this. There will be a spore in the main in just a moment, but these guys now are going to be kind of exposed. With 4 Wraiths, we can possibly fight off the Hydras or even just dive onto the Overlords, but we're not going to do it just yet. The paper airplanes. Got the control tower, should be getting Cloak in just a minute as well. Now, Gabagoon has no idea about this third base, but the problem is Anderson doesn't have the money to actually be producing drones on it at all. Anderson doesn't have money to be producing anything. He's about to lose this Overlord again. We lose 1 Wraith for it. But Anderson's back in supply block territory, and he is poor as dirt. He is larva rich and mineral poor. That is never where you want to be as a Zerg player. These Wraiths splitting off now might just find a little bit of poke onto some of the buildings over here, maybe going after the drone that's just about to show up, but the other one might be going off to scout and may find the third. Talked about a disaster situation in the last game, but I think this is just as much of a disaster. Anderson stuck in the teens on supply. 11 drones to his name. And about to have even less, again losing an Overlord, losing drones. This is terrible, terrible damage that he's taken. We have a spore covering no units at the third. Gaba's ready to just push with Marine Tank. There's not nearly enough in Anderson's base to defend against this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were hoping for a long and epic series, I hate to disappoint, but in the end, I don't think I'm the one that's disappointing here. I think that credit goes to our Zerg player. Because I do not feel that this game has much life left in it. Anderson desperately trying to put down creep colonies, but the siege up is here. Not even losing a single Wraith. The tanks shelling in. There's no Sunkens remaining. The Marines able to go to town. issuing some incredible DPS directly onto the hatchery, not even looking for the spore colony. No siree. You're already larva rich, but let's take away your production capabilities. Anderson's definitely been learning from some of our other Zerg players who like to stay in games too long. Getting some real fantasy GG timing feels out of this. But I guess really he wants to make sure that we're getting all that we paid for. For those of you who bought tickets to this performance, I hope you're getting your money's worth. And again, whoever's selling those tickets might have ripped you off. GG it is. And series it is. Unless there's an agreement for a 5-er, that means Gabagoon will climb up to number 2 on the tower. And Anderson down to number 10. Alright, that's all we got here, but just a moment longer, we'll be having the UPL weekly. I know we're not live, so no one's going to be aware of the time span on this, but just trust. Go check it out on YouTube. See ya.